The Ridgeline has always been carving its own path in a little bit unconventional way, offering a blend of comfort, efficiency, and practicality that sets it apart from traditional body-on-frame pickups. Class-leading on road handling and superior comfort are things usually associated with this pickup, but it actually stands out as the most well-rounded model in the class. This 2025 Honda Ridgeline proves that you don't have to go Tacoma to get a badass truck, and here's why. Quicker than you think. The Ridgeline is a unique pickup in many ways, but when it comes to powertrain, it's rather unconventional. Many classmates have already switched to forced induction and smaller displacement turbo 4 engines. Honda, on the other hand, sticks with its good old single overhead cam V6, the 3.5-liter unit that puts out 280 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. It's smoother than 4-cylinder rivals for sure, but some like to point out the benefit of low-end torque that's more generous with those turbocharged engines. Well, they are missing one thing. The Honda pickups is significantly lighter, features a more advanced suspension setup, and has better aerodynamics. In practice, this means that despite notably less torque, the Ridgeline is actually much quicker than a Tacoma, even the one with a hybrid powertrain. It needs 6.2 seconds to hit 60, while you won't find a Tacoma that can do the same sprint in less than 7 seconds. Practically, the Ranger Raptor is the only midsize pickup that's quicker than Ridgeline, and that one comes with a twin-turbo V6 and over 400 horsepower. For the same reasons, the V6 is also as fuel efficient as smaller turbo 4 engines from rivals, with the average fuel economy going around 18 mpg city and 24 highway. Considering the standard all-wheel drive, we could say that these are typical ratings for the class. Clearly, it's the benefit of the unibody platform and weight savings. But it's just one of the many. Besides swift acceleration and smoother power delivery, the Ridgeline stands out with its crossover-like driving experience. Its fully independent rear suspension is certainly one of the reasons why it handles way better than Tacoma and anything else in the class. At the same time, it's significantly more comfortable, with road manners that seem unreachable for anything with a body-on-frame construction. And we know what you're going to say, how unibody pickups are not meant for work. Well, that's true to some point, but when you compare it with a Tacoma, the gap isn't all that big at all. The max payload is 1,583 pounds, while Tacoma hauls up to 1,700 pounds. A notable but not significant difference. Things become even more interesting when you compare max towing capacity. The Ridgeline features typical figures for a unibody vehicle, going up to 5,000 pounds. The Tacoma, on the other hand, is the least capable truck in the body-on-frame pack in the segment. The most capable variants can tow 6,500 pounds, but the new hybrid, with class-leading torque, is capped at quite a disappointing 6,000. The Ridgeline's 5,000 are already enough to tow a boat or a decently sized trailer, so we're not sure if an extra 1,000 pounds is worth sacrificing all the Ridgeline's advantages we just talked about. If towing is one of your main concerns, there are way better options on the market than Tacoma, like the Chevy Colorado or Jeep Gladiator, both capped at a respectable 7,700 pounds. Class-leading interior comfort. When we talk about clear reasons to choose Ridgeline over Tacoma or any other body-on-frame SUV, the interior is definitely one of the things that come to mind first. The refined suspension setup and smooth ride are complemented by pretty good sound installation. Not to mention way more natural driving position and superior ergonomics. On top of all, the Ridgeline features one of the most spacious cabins in the class. The Tacoma did bring some improvements with the recent redesign, but it's still nowhere near the Ridgeline's level of comfort. As mentioned, the Ridgeline features a better driving position and nicer seats, while the biggest difference is in the back, where the amount of rear passenger space goes beyond superior. If we talk numbers, the new Tacoma offers 32.6 inches of legroom in the second row. The Ridgeline, on the other hand, is good for about 37 inches, which makes it as spacious as a typical midsize SUV. Clearly, the Ridgeline is way better as a family hauler, but on the other hand, some may complain about its cargo bed. Yes, the Tacoma is available with the long bed, but if we compare the double cab short bed configurations, the only one available in Honda's case, things are a little bit different, and Ridgeline's bed is actually a little bit longer, 5.3 compared to 5 feet. Not only that, the Ridgeline's cargo bed stands out with a couple of quite practical solutions. such as the tailgate that opens two ways, massive underfloor storage, etc. Design and features. With everything we've said so far, it's easy to conclude that the Ridgeline has so many advantages over Tacoma and the rest of the competition. Still, it's not flawless. The thing that troubles Honda's pickup the most is its age. The current generation has been around since 2017. Every other model in the class is notably younger, and that can be easily noticed in a few ways. First of all, there's the exterior design. Clearly, the Ridgeline isn't the coolest looking model in the class. Moreover, it's been criticized a lot for looking too car-like. Honda did update the truck a few years ago and made it look more rugged, but still, it's not the level of toughness a typical truck buyer has in mind. Besides its mild exterior, the Ridgeline's age is also exposed through its interior. Yes, this pickup features the nicest interior in terms of passenger comfort, build quality, and materials. But when you look at the dashboard, it's clear that such aesthetics belong to something that's a generation or two old. Besides a slightly outdated look, Ridgeline's problem is the infotainment system and other tech features. Honda did bring a bigger screen recently, but the infotainment system still feels a generation behind when compared to what rivals have to offer in this aspect. Still, all these drawbacks are minor when we look at the Ridgeline as a whole. With all the qualities we talked about previously, it's easy to ignore a couple of cons like this because overall, the Ridgeline is still an amazing pickup with class-leading comfort and ride quality. Off-road performance. Conservative truckers have always criticized the Ridgeline and its unibody construction for the lack of off-road potential. For a long time, Honda didn't have such a version on offer, but then decided to address this issue by releasing the Trail Sport trim. The first thing you'll notice on the Trail Sport are styling upgrades. A unique grille, lots of black cladding, tailgate badges, and similar things certainly make the truck look more rugged, but what's more important is the off-road rig that this particular version offers. First of all, it comes standard with the all-terrain tires with upgraded springs and anti-roll bars. And what's particularly interesting is that despite these upgrades, Honda managed to retain quite impressive on-road manners, which usually isn't the case with off-road vehicles. Then there's the skid plates that protects the oil pan, though we have to say that we're a little bit disappointed with the ground clearance, which is exactly the same as in standard versions, with a relatively modest 7.6 inches from ground. On the other hand, we definitely like interior details like orange-colored stitching and accents, all-weather floor mats, etc. Trim levels and pricing. The 2025 Honda Ridgeline comes with the base price of $40,150, and although that's a notably higher starting price compared to most rivals, there is a lot you get in return. For the money, you get not only a pickup with superior ride quality and refinement, but also a well-equipped vehicle. That base version comes standard with a 9-inch infotainment screen, a 7-inch digital instrument cluster, wireless smartphone integration, 7 speakers, remote keyless entry, remote start, tri-zone climate control, and many other things that typically don't come with base variants of the rivals. Moreover, there's also a long list of driver assistance features such as a rear view camera, forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, automatic high beams, blind spot monitoring, and rear cross traffic alert. Once again, more than you get from most rivals. The next one is the Ridgeline RTL, and it comes with a starting price of $42,280. For that extra money, you get upgrades like leather upholstery, power adjustable seats with memory settings, satellite radio, a power sliding rear window, and a moonroof. Then comes the model we already talked about, the Ridgeline Trail Sport with an MSRP of $45,380. As mentioned, it stands out with off-road upgrades like off-road tune suspension, all-terrain tires, and underbody protection. But it also brings exclusive features like unique interior stitching, LED daytime running lights, navigation, heated steering wheel, power folding side mirrors, front and rear parking sensors, and several more convenience features. Finally, the top of the offer is reserved for the Ridgeline Black Edition with a sticker price of $46,750. The most prominent are those unique all-black exterior and interior details, but there are also various comfort and convenience upgrades. For example, this trim comes standard with ventilated front seats and heated rear seats. Furthermore, there's a premium sound system, along with HD radio, additional USB ports, in-bed LED lighting, in-bed power outlet, and many more. As you can see, every variant of the Ridgeline is equipped very well, and it all comes down to personal preference when choosing between different versions of this pickup truck that offers a pretty unique experience in the segment. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.